Hi, I'm Sandy Oliver, and I am going to be your instructor for English 002. We call this Transition English. It is a semester-long course, but we're doing it in 14 weeks this time. And so you have a little less time to get going, but you have enough time to get through what you need to do. If you have not printed off your syllabus yet, or you don't have it up on your device, please pause me and go do that. Okay, our class is going to run from August 29th until December 12th. Okay, so it's a Monday to a Monday. And we have two holidays during this, well, actually three. We have one that will come up very shortly here for Labor Day, the 5th of September. And then our census date, which is the last day that you can post your required enrollment activity and still stay in the class. So if you click in the class, right now what you see is just kind of the introduction and a few crucial pieces, but you can't see the units yet. And so you have to take that REA, is what we call it, required enrollment activity. You have to do that. It's basically a syllabus quiz. You have to do that before you can go on to anything else. That establishes your intention of taking the class. And just like if you're in a seated class, we would have to take the roll the first day to make sure everybody was there. This is kind of how we have to do it when we're online. And so you have, anytime you want to get on there, get on, do that first. Okay, and then move on. Okay, walking through the syllabus. Like I said, I'm Sandy Oliver. I don't have an office on campus. I keep looking over here because that's where my syllabus is. I'm going to put it up a little bit closer. I don't have an office on campus because I'm an adjunct, which means I teach for Robeson Community College part-time. And I have an email address though, soliver@robeson.edu, and you have my phone number on there as well. If you're going to use the phone, make it be a text, and make sure you put your name in there so I know who I'm talking to. It's helpful too if you tell me the class. I teach for two other community colleges, and so sometimes I get a little lost in who's in what class. So, but we'll get there. We use what's called Open LMS for our coursework. Everything you need for the course is inside the course. You do not have to buy another book or get a code or anything else. Just get in there. Okay. This course is designed to help you get ready for college writing. And so a lot of the stuff you're going to do in here might seem a little bit basic, but it's to get you ready for English 111, English 110, other writing that you're going to do in your other classes. So bear with us, play along, it'll be fine. You have the list of student learning outcomes, what we call SLOs. And basically this is demonstrate that you can do the stuff you need to get through college writing. And so you can kind of look through that and see what, if any of that scares you at all. Like I said, no real textbook. The software that we use is called NROC, N-R-O-C, and you get to it through the course, so you don't have to have a separate login or anything like that. It's all good. Then you really should have, everybody should have, a good dictionary. I like the apps on the phone. Dictionary.com is okay, but American Heritage has their own app, and it's very good, and that'll help you out a bit. Or a paper one. I like paper ones, so you know. If you're working on classes at the library or in a classroom somewhere or whatever, don't forget your earbuds because it's really annoying for other people to have to listen to all the videos and stuff you have to watch. So, the fun thing about this course is that you have two different spaces that you're going to be working in. One is our LMS, okay, our learning management system, and that has all the introduction to each of the units. and it has the end of each of the units, which is the assessment. The middle stuff, you have to get through NROC. And so once you've done the growth mindset activity for that particular unit, then you'll need to get on NROC and walk through foundations and walk through writing center. And then when you get to your first draft, you have to stop. And that's when I need to come and look and review what you've done. And then we do the same thing for the second draft. You work through it, you post your second draft. I go look at it, say yay, and then you go and you post your final draft. And then while you're waiting for me to yay about your final draft, you go back to the course, the LMS course, and do your assessment. Okay. So for each unit, and there are 10, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go along. For each unit, you have 3 main goals. 1, finish the growth mindset activity first, and it won't let you look at the rest of it until you're done with that anyway, so it's pretty easy. And then you walk through the writing. Okay, I'm going to look at rough draft 1 and rough draft 2 and a final draft. And then the assessment is back in our class normal, and you have to get an 80% or better as your final grade for the assessment and as your final grade for the writing. And so once you get at least an 80% in both of those, lo and behold, magic, it opens up the next unit for you. Now, if you're starting the course and you've already done a unit or 2 or 5, you'll start with the next unit after that. And that's what's going to get interesting here in a little bit. Okay, so back to this methods of instruction. It's a 6 contact hour course, and those 6 hours are if you're working in a 16-week course. We're working in a 14-week course, so ours is about 7. Honestly, get your work done and you don't have to worry about the hour numbers. Okay. In order to progress to English 110, which is freshman writing, you need to finish with an 80% or better the first 6 units. If you want to go into English 111 with a co-requisite course, that's also 6, okay, units 1 through 6. If you want to go into English 111 all by itself without a support course, then you have to get through units 1 through 10. Now, I know that some folks come back and do 7 through 10 to get that other credit. So you can just walk into English 111 and you're not as, you can take it all online and that kind of stuff, okay? But keep that in mind as you're working. If you're coming in with extra, already having finished a few or a bunch of the units, then your timing is a little bit different. And I'll talk about that when we get to the progression thing. So our grading, really, the unit assessments are 50% and the writing assignments are 50%. And so your final draft counts as half, and so does your unit assessment test. Most of the assessments allow either 2 or 3 times to take it. My advice to you, and the students rarely follow my advice on this, but it would be helpful if you would wait, take your test, set it aside, go do something else. Go do your math work, go do your computer work, whatever you got to do. I go through and I have to grade a couple of the questions in each assessment. And so if you go back in and correct a bunch of other stuff, but you haven't seen my feedback on those, you may end up taking a 3rd time. So be patient. I will tell you, Monday through Friday, I walk through all the pieces of the class and do grading and all of that and check my email and respond to stuff. And then I move on. Like I said, I have two other community colleges to work through. And so sometimes you may be waiting a whole day. Sometimes you may only be waiting a little bit. Just depends on when you post and when I get in there. So please be a little bit patient with me. I know you're pushing, some of you, especially when we get to the end of the semester, but we'll get through. It's okay. The other thing, maybe you don't know this because this is your first time in English 002, any units you finish this semester, which, and by finish, I mean pass with the 80% mark, goes with you if you have to take it again next semester. So you're not starting over. You're picking up where you left off, which is fabulous in one way and really nerve-wracking on the other, trying to get things finished so you don't have to pay for the course again, and then getting to pick up where you left off. They're kind of in tension with each other. Our grading scale is basically, if you have units 1 through 6 with at least an 80%, you get a P1, which means you've passed the first tier. Okay. If you do the same kind of work up to 80% or 80% or better in units 1 through 10, you get a P2, which is passed with second tier, which will get you straight into English 111. How the LMS keeps track of grades, and they're kind of weird because it's all set up to do the normal 80 to 100, 90, that kind of stuff. And so don't be misled by the percentage there, especially if I haven't started putting zeros in yet. We're going to get to zeros here in a minute. Page 3. We don't have a final exam, and there was much rejoicing, right? But all of your work that you want me to count has to be posted no later than noon on Monday, December 12th. Okay, don't ask for an extension then. That's just, it has to end. And so keep that in mind as you go along. The last day for you to withdraw from this class is December 1st. Okay, you can complete a student drop form. There's a link in the syllabus if you've got it online. Otherwise, there's a link, in the eForms link. Okay, on the main page of the college website, there's quick links, and you go down to eForms, and it's in there. Okay. I know class attendance in an online course is always kind of weird, because we're not really there. We're not all there at the same time. Probably none of us on at the same time. Maybe a few, but not enough to give it a glance. But you need to post at least one gradable assignment every week. Okay, now that's not going to get you finished with the course. That's just going to get your attendance. Okay, and by one gradable thing, I mean the growth mindset activity, one of the drafts, okay, or the assessment. Okay, so if you're really trying to keep up, there'll be more than that. But on the weeks where you can't keep up, one thing. Okay, do one thing, and that way you'll get counted present. Okay. Now, there's a lot of math in figuring out attendance, and the way it works from the state level, you have to be in class 85% of the time in order to get credit for the class, which for an online class means you have to finish a lot to get credit, which is true. Now, I'm going to record attendance after we get done with our census stuff, which ends on September 6th. I'm going to post attendance once a week on Friday mornings probably, but it's going to count for Thursday. And basically, you have to have at least one assignment done that week in order to get your attendance. If you don't post anything for more than 2 weeks, okay, so 2 weeks, and then we get on the next week, if you're not posting anything that third week, I have to drop you from class. Doesn't matter what the excuse is, or the reason is, you need to post at least one thing every week in order for me to keep you in the class. Okay, that's just policy. Okay, so my availability, like I said before, I am online with the classes Monday through Friday. I will, post an announcement every week saying, okay, remember, got to get stuff done. Maybe some other things about that, some good news. Hey, we had 3 people finish a unit last week. Good job. Keep going, that kind of stuff. But I will also be in the class working on grading and responding and all that kind of stuff every day, Monday through Friday. Occasionally, things bleed over into Saturday. I try really hard not to be online or working on classes on Sunday. I'm not always successful, but that's my holy day, and I don't want you guys to have to work on your holy day, and so I try really hard not to work on mine. About that, that's why my day is Thursday. This doesn't make as much problem for you guys as it does for my classes that have deadlines. But I will post grades on Friday based on what you've done since the previous Friday. So I will answer email. I will answer phone texts within 24 hours, give or take, by the end of the next day. Okay. Texting is okay. If you have a quick question that can be answered quickly, send me a text and I'll be happy to get to those. I answer those as soon as I see them. And then emails are daily, Monday through Friday. I usually check in at least once on Saturday and make sure nobody's losing their little minds on there. Okay, page 4. This is the progression part. We are a self-paced developmental course, which means the math gets a little weird sometimes. But here's the list. If you are working towards Tier 1 credit, which means you will be eligible for English 110 or English 111 with the co-requisite, you have to finish with an 80% or more units 1 through 6. Okay. If you want to get out of that companion course and you want to just take plain old Jane old English 111, you have to finish all 12. So we have 14 weeks. And so what I've done here on page 4 is give you kind of here's how you would do this, excuse me, if you're going to complete all the pieces. And really, so by the end of week 2, if you haven't finished your first unit, you're going to have an absence, probably, but you're also going to have a 0 in the course. Zeros get your attention. They also get your success coach or advisor's attention because those zeros get popped over into a VSO, and so they can see those too. So be careful, do what you're supposed to do, and it's all right. Again, I'm going to send emails out. I'm going to send announcements out. Please check your email during the week, every day, to make sure you're not missing anything. And if you have a question for me, email. Okay, that's the best way to go. Okay, academic resources. Upswing is an online tutorial service through the college's LMS. It's right there when you go to sign in to the LMS, it's right there. There's a little list of things and you can click on that and go find it. The Academic Success Center, you can get tutoring. It's in building 14 on the 2nd floor. We also have an online tutor available for English 002 students, and she will most likely put out an announcement here shortly. If you have need of a tutor, you want somebody to sit with you for whatever, introductory to whatever, she's very good. It'd be helpful for that. The library, of course, is in building 4. They have a bunch of services for students, including access to an open computer lab. So if your computer goes belly up, or maybe you don't have internet at home, the library is a great place to go. Make sure you bring your headphones or your earbuds so that you're not disturbing other folks. Okay. Our help desk is also very helpful. Not all of them are, but these guys are great. Technical support, they're great. Help desk at Robeson. And you also have the help desk is in the bottom floor of building 14. So please make sure that you're doing your own work. Do your work with integrity and everything's great. Academic dishonesty is punishable by everything from getting a 0 on the assignment to getting kicked out of school. Okay, so don't panic. Ask questions. Do what you got to do. Okay. There are a whole bunch of important college policies there. Things like the honor code, attendance policy, grade appeal, student grievance, drop ad, all those kinds of things are in the student handbook. Okay. And if you have a question about, okay, where does this fall? What does that do? Click on the handbook on the college website, all kinds of answers. If you have disabilities affecting your academic performance, you should contact Ms. Moore over in Counseling and Testing in the Student Center. And her email and her phone number on campus are there on the top of page 6. There's a lot of misconceptions, especially if you had an IEP in public school. It's all over your records, right? For your transcripts from a college, it's not there. So if it would benefit you to have, distraction-free testing or a little bit extra time or somebody to take notes, that kind of stuff, they're very good about helpful. So look into that. Robeson Community College tries really hard not to discriminate against anybody. There are specific things there: race, color, sex, age, religion, disability, origin, or other non-relevant factors. Okay. This goes for students and employees, and in my experience so far, they have been very, very good. Okay, so if you haven't already, you might have to do the Safe Colleges training. It is stuff for sexual assault, dating violence, domestic violence, and all kinds of stuff. It's a very good short little class, so if you get tagged for that, don't stress. It doesn't take a whole long time, but it's very good information and it will help you. For our class, we start on a Monday, we end on a Monday. We do have fall break the 10th and 11th of October, and we have Thanksgiving in November, Wednesday through Friday, the 23rd through the 25th. When we come back from Thanksgiving, we have 2 weeks to get things done. And so, that's kind of how it works. If you have questions, email me, text me, you know how to get a hold of me. Oh, and just in case you need to know for the quiz, our cat is Hufflepuff. She's technically Headmistress Hufflepuff Athena Davidson, but she is Puff to the rest of us. So anyway, just so you know. I hope you have a great day. I hope everything is wonderful, and that you're working in class and you're healthy and safe and all of that. But if you have questions or need assistance, just get a hold of me. Email, text. Okay? Have a great day.